The sun was a fierce, golden eye in the sky, baking the riverbed into a dusty map of cracks. What was once a bustling waterway, filled with the happy splashes of fish and the chatter of birds, was now quiet and still. Here, nestled amidst the tall grasses and reeds, lived a family of otters. Their days were spent in the water, chasing fish and playing hide-and-seek amongst the cattails. Life was good, but lately, the river had been acting strange. The water had receded, leaving behind a cracked and thirsty landscape. Even the fish were nowhere to be seen. One day, a young otter with fur the color of rich chocolate and eyes full of endless curiosity skidded to a halt at the edge of the parched land. His name was Ollie. He missed the cool slide of the muddy banks and the refreshing plunge into the water. As he padded along the edge of the former pond, a flicker of movement caught his eye. It wasn't the quick dart of a lizard or the hop of a frog. This was a slow, deliberate crawl. It was an old tortoise, his shell as dusty and cracked as the earth beneath him. His ancient leathery neck was stretched out, his head low to the ground. Ollie watched, his playful mood dissolving into concern. The tortoise moved with a heavy weariness, each step a monumental effort. He was heading for the very center of the dry pond, where the last memory of water might still linger. Ollie scampered closer, his soft paws making no sound on the hard-baked clay. "Hello," he chirped softly. The tortoise stopped and slowly turned his head. His eyes were clouded with thirst and exhaustion. "Hello, little one," he rasped, his voice as dry as the riverbed. "I am searching for a drink. The sun is very strong today." Ollie's heart ached for the old creature. He knew there was no water here. But then he remembered something his mother had taught him. She said that even when the river sleeps, it dreams of water deep below. "Wait here," Ollie said, a new determination in his voice. He ran to the lowest point in the pond, a place where the clay was still a shade darker. He closed his eyes and remembered the feeling of damp earth. Then, he began to dig. His small paws worked furiously, scooping and scraping at the stubborn ground. Dust flew up, coating his whiskers and nose. It was hard work. The clay was tough, and his paws began to ache. But every time he felt like stopping, he glanced over at the tortoise, who watched with a glimmer of hope in his ancient eyes. That look was all the encouragement Ollie needed. He dug deeper, his body wriggling with effort until he was almost halfway into the hole. Suddenly, he felt a change. The soil beneath his paws grew cool and soft. It became mud. A moment later, a tiny, miraculous bead of clear water seeped through. Then another, and another. Slowly, a small, murky puddle began to form at the bottom of the hole. Panting, Ollie backed out of the hole, his face and chest completely covered in mud. He looked like a little chocolate monster, but his eyes shone with pride. He gestured with his head toward the small well. The tortoise made his slow, steady journey over. He peered into the hole, saw the life-giving water, and let out a long, grateful sigh. He lowered his head and began to drink. The soft sipping sound, the most beautiful music Ollie had ever heard. Ollie sat beside the hole, his muddy face beaming, and watched his new friend drink his fill. As the sun began to set, casting long, gentle shadows across the land, the first fat drop of rain fell, plopping right onto Ollie's nose. Soon, a gentle shower began, and the time-lapse of nature's recovery began. The pond slowly but surely began to fill again, and by morning, it was a shallow, shimmering mirror reflecting the sky. The tortoise and the little otter sat together at its edge, their unlikely friendship forged in a time of drought, a testament to the fact that kindness can make a wellspring appear even in the driest of places.